Hello, everyone, and welcome to Legacy English. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of one of history's most iconic figures, Cleopatra, the last queen of Egypt. Through her story, you'll not only learn about history but also improve your English vocabulary and listening skills. Cleopatra's life was full of drama, intrigue, and power struggles, making her story one of the most captivating in history. So, let's get started. Cleopatra was born in 69 BC in Alexandria, Egypt, a city known for its grand libraries, vibrant culture, and stunning architecture. Alexandria was the capital of Egypt during the Ptolemaic dynasty, a Greek family that ruled Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great. The Ptolemies were not Egyptian by origin, but they adopted many Egyptian traditions to gain the loyalty of their subjects. Cleopatra, however, went a step further. She was the first ruler in her family to learn the Egyptian language, which helped her connect with her people on a deeper level. From a young age, Cleopatra was known for her intelligence and charisma. She was highly educated in mathematics, philosophy, astronomy, and medicine. Her ability to speak multiple languages, including Egyptian, Greek, and Latin, made her a unique and powerful leader. She was not just a queen, she was a scholar and a diplomat, capable of communicating with leaders and scholars from different parts of the world. Life in Alexandria during Cleopatra's time was vibrant and cosmopolitan. The city was a melting pot of cultures, where Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, and other ethnic groups lived together. The streets were lined with grand buildings, temples, and markets. The famous Library of Alexandria, one of the largest libraries in the ancient world, was a center of learning and attracted scholars from all over the Mediterranean. Cleopatra herself was known to frequent the library, where she engaged in intellectual discussions and expanded her knowledge. Cleopatra's daily life in Alexandria was a blend of royal duties and personal interests. She often held court in the royal palace, where she met with advisors, diplomats, and foreign dignitaries. She was deeply involved in the administration of her kingdom, overseeing everything from trade to agriculture. Despite her busy schedule, Cleopatra made time for her studies and enjoyed reading works of literature, philosophy, and science. She was also known for her love of music and often hosted lavish banquets where musicians and poets performed. After her father's death in 51 BC, Cleopatra became queen at just 18 years old. However, her reign wasn't easy. She faced challenges from her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, who wanted to rule alone. According to Egyptian tradition, Cleopatra was expected to marry her brother and rule jointly with him, but their relationship quickly turned into a power struggle. Ptolemy XIII and his advisors forced Cleopatra to flee Egypt to save her life. During her exile, Cleopatra began planning her return to power. She knew she needed a strong ally, and she found one in Julius Caesar, the Roman general who was visiting Egypt at the time. Legend has it that Cleopatra had herself smuggled into Caesar's palace rolled up in a carpet. When the carpet was unrolled, she emerged, captivating Caesar with her wit and charm. Impressed by her intelligence and determination, Caesar agreed to support her claim to the throne. With Caesar's help, Cleopatra defeated her brother's forces in a series of battles. Ptolemy XIII drowned in the Nile River during the conflict, and Cleopatra became the sole ruler of Egypt. To solidify her position, she married another younger brother, Ptolemy XIV, but it was clear that she was the one in charge. Cleopatra's relationship with Julius Caesar was both political and personal. She traveled to Rome with him, where she was treated as a queen. During her time in Rome, she lived in one of Caesar's villas, and even had a statue of herself erected in the Temple of Venus. However, her presence in Rome caused tension among Caesar's enemies, who saw her as a threat to the Roman Republic. Cleopatra and Caesar had a son together named Caesarion, which means Little Caesar. This further strengthened her position as a ruler and ally of Rome. However, their relationship was cut short when Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC. Cleopatra returned to Egypt, where she faced new challenges. After Caesar's assassination, Cleopatra returned to Egypt. Shortly after, her brother and co-ruler, Ptolemy XIV, died under mysterious circumstances, and Cleopatra made her young son, Caesarion, her co-ruler. She then formed another powerful alliance, this time with Mark Antony, one of Caesar's closest allies and a leading figure in Rome. Cleopatra and Mark Antony's relationship was both romantic and strategic. Together they had 3 children, and they dreamed of creating a vast empire that would unite the East and the West. However, their ambitions put them in direct conflict with Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir and the future first emperor of Rome. The tension between Mark Antony and Octavian eventually led to war. In 31 BC, their forces clashed at the Battle of Actium, a naval battle off the coast of Greece. The battle was one of the most significant in ancient history, as it determined the fate of the Roman Empire. Cleopatra and Mark Antony commanded a fleet of about 500 ships, while Octavian's fleet, led by his skilled general Agrippa, numbered around 400 ships. The Battle of Actium began on September 2, 31 BC. Cleopatra and Mark Antony's fleet was positioned in a defensive formation, but Octavian's forces quickly gained the upper hand. Agrippa's superior tactics and the discipline of his sailors proved decisive. As the battle raged, Cleopatra's ships suddenly retreated, and Mark Antony followed her, abandoning his fleet. This decision led to their eventual defeat. After the battle, Cleopatra and Mark Antony fled back to Egypt. Realizing that their cause was lost, Mark Antony committed suicide by falling on his sword. Cleopatra, determined not to be captured by Octavian, also took her own life. According to legend, she died by allowing a snake, called an asp, to bite her. With Cleopatra's death, Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire, marking the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the end of ancient Egypt as an independent kingdom. However, Cleopatra's legacy lived on. She was remembered not only for her beauty, but also for her intelligence, political skill, and determination to protect her kingdom. Cleopatra's influence on Egyptian and Roman culture was profound. In Egypt, she was seen as a divine ruler, a living embodiment of the goddess Isis. She promoted Egyptian traditions and religion, earning the loyalty of her people. In Rome, she was both admired and feared. Her relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony had a significant impact on Roman politics, and her story became a symbol of power and intrigue. Over the centuries, Cleopatra has been portrayed in countless books, movies, and plays. Shakespeare wrote a famous play about her, and Hollywood has brought her story to life in films like Cleopatra, starring Elizabeth Taylor. Despite the many myths and legends surrounding her, Cleopatra remains a symbol of strength, leadership, and resilience.
And that's the story of Cleopatra, the last queen of Egypt. What did you find most interesting about her life? Was it her intelligence, her political alliances, or her tragic end? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Legacy English, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next story. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.